Hi, it's Angela here. Welcome to Heart Wisdom and welcome back to my regular viewers. Thank you so much for being here and a huge thank you for subscribing, commenting, liking and sharing. It means a lot to me and it lets me know that my videos are helping you, which keeps me motivated. It's now February 22 and I feel I've learned a lot since I started this channel back in 2020. So I'm taking this opportunity to post this updated version of my intro video to explain a bit about my cards and how my readings work. My aim with these readings is to offer potential solutions to challenges or limitations that you might be encountering in any area of your life. Self-acceptance is the key, and we can often suffer from low self-worth because of our history and conditioning. I work with intuition and empathy with a focus on positive outcomes. You have the answers within, and my job is to guide you to them by providing an objective perspective. So before I talk about this example spread that I've got here, I just want to extend a heartfelt thank you to those of you who have asked about supporting my channel with donations. I can't tell you how much this means to me, to know that my work is valued and appreciated. I have, however, decided to ask that instead of making donations to Heart Wisdom, that you pay it forward in whatever way resonates with you, remembering to be kind and loving to yourself. It means a great deal to me to know that I'm contributing to the greater good through you. As to the cards, I use my own deck, which is made up of 54 cards with all sorts of different images on them. And I prefer to work with abstract images, so I created these using photography of crystals and stained glass. The idea being to incorporate colour and light, which are both very important to me. The Celtic knot pattern on the back, which encloses the heart, was designed by my husband in a nod to my Irish ancestry, as both my maternal and paternal grandparents were Irish. And I just determined the subject area for each card by using meditation. I use only 4 cards in my readings and they're laid out as follows. After shuffling, I deal the cards facing you. I don't work with reversals. And the top 3 cards come from the top of the deck, and then the bottom card comes from the bottom of the deck. The position meanings for the cards are as follows. So the first card is the challenge, obstacle or difficulty. The second card is linked to that, and it's a contributory factor. The third card is the solution or the answer, and the final card is the underlying energy for the reading. So if there's a weekly reading, that's the underlying energy for the week, and if it's a monthly reading, the underlying energy for the month. So this example spread, this was a reading that I gave for Sagittarius in January. And I chose to illustrate this one in this video because it's got a good mixture of images on the cards and colours. And as I said, I like to incorporate colour and light in my images. And it never ceases to amaze me how many different things I can see whilst looking at these images, even though they're abstract. It's interesting, and I often recommend that you as a viewer focus on the cards for yourself whilst tuning into your intuition, because you can then get a message that's personal to you, even though it's a general reading. As I said earlier, it's my belief that you have the answers within, and I'm just acting as an intuitive and empathic guide to help you to reach those answers, to connect with them. And I like to share how my readings work in the hope that you might be able to gain information for yourself from these readings as well, as I mentioned, by tuning into your intuition. So this particular reading for Sagittarius in January, the message, the overall general message was about healing happiness and zest for life. And how did I come to that? Well, there are many ways to interpret the cards, and I tend to go with the message I'm most strongly drawn to. But because, there could be many people watching these videos, it could manifest differently for everyone because it's a general reading. So yes, it's important that you take the message that resonates with you and leave the rest behind. So the challenge in this instance was joy and linked to adventure. And, this can speak about feeling happy and joyful. It can also represent celebration and a special occasion. Adventure can be having an adventure, doing something exciting. It could also be being adventurous, stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something that's out of character for you or what people would perceive as your character. So yes, there are many ways to read the cards. And as I said, I go with the message I'm most strongly drawn to. And I think for Sagittarius in this instance, it was something about finding it difficult to feel happy in terms of feeling a bit limited as regards their personality and what they're able to do in the moment. So this is the challenge area. Joy is the challenge and adventure is contributing to that in some way. So that leads me to think about a lack of adventure or a feeling restricted or a wanting to expand and step out of the comfort zone, but feeling unable or feeling challenged in some way. So I tend to just go with my intuition, looking at the images on the cards and feel what message comes through. And ideally that will resonate. And often it may not, but you may gain something else just by listening to the words that I'm saying or to the perspective that I express. It can help trigger something within you as well. So it doesn't have to be ideally suited to you. Health can mean health, as in physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health as well, but it can also relate to health in any area of your life. So the health of your bank balance, your relationship, your work. The orange colour stands out really strongly in this spread, and that for me spoke about vibrancy and energy and zest for life, your mojo, that type of thing. And it's the answer or the solution. And happiness, which is the underlying energy for the reading, that can literally be happiness, but it can also be celebration as well. And it's interesting that we've got the joy card, which also talks about celebration. That can look like, or it can remind me anyway, of bubbles and champagne. And whether you drink or not is irrelevant. It's just the metaphor for celebration, really. And this is predominantly white, but there's quite a bit of green in the background. And the colour green represents healing. And I think that's why I spoke about healing happiness in the original reading. So there was something about allowing yourself to be yourself, as it were, and that will allow the energy, the zest for life to return, which in turn will lead to happiness. And it's a healing happiness because it's bringing about the return to self, coming back to yourself in a way. I'm trying to sort of match into the reading that I gave previously, which is not something I do on a regular basis. So it may well, if I was to deal this spread again afresh for you now, I may well get a completely different interpretation based on what comes through most strongly. But that's just to give you a flavour of the type of reading that I do. So the challenge, the link to that challenge, the solution, and the underlying energy. And as I said, the message for this was healing, happiness, and zest for life. So in general, for Sagittarians back in January, that was about them coming back to themselves, feeling happier and having renewed vigour and a zest for life. And generally being able to connect into their natural optimism and enthusiasm. So that's about it really in a nutshell. I hope you found that interesting and that you can join me for your weekly or monthly reading. I do them for each sign of the zodiac. And yes, I hope you find them helpful. And until next time, may your heart be your guide. Love and light. Namaste.